is the Reminder Day. We have to remind every one of us and every one of you the shadow the Holocaust casts on our land and our people and our times. I'm one of exceedingly few German-born Jews under the age of 17 who survived the ghetto and 3 concentration camps in Europe. I was an only child, and yet I lost 18 of 19 members of my family. I endured the anti-Semitism and Nazi persecution for the first 17 years of my life, including 4 years, one was the Lodz ghetto, where my father died within 5 months of arrival of starvation. The camp and extermination camp of Birkenau, where my mother was murdered in the gas chamber and perished in the crematorium. The camp where I was tattooed and taken on a death march and by train back to Germany to the camp of Buchenwald, where I was fortunately liberated on April 11, 1945, by our own army, the United States Third Army, led by George Patton. It was almost a day of being reborn. It was an event that definitely will never, ever be forgotten by those 21,000 people that survived, including 926 boys that had been gathered from all over Europe to that particular camp. And the nice thing was that 5 days ago, it was the 73rd anniversary. My survival is a true miracle, as only 1/10, I repeat, 1/10 of 1% of all arriving juveniles in all the camps of Europe were allowed to live. That is why out of 6 million Jewish victims, 1.5 million were children. In 1941, at the age of 13, 2,011 Jews from the city of Cologne were deported to the various camps and ghettos. Only 23 survived the war. And in 2011, I was informed to be the only one left alive. Why then is this day of reminder, rather than remembrance, so important to all of us, especially to me? President Franklin Roosevelt once said, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." And I believe the time has come to fear once again. Our country may not be in danger of a Holocaust, but our society is in peril. I see once again in the signs and symptoms of a Holocaust casting their shadows over our times and our lives. I fear the scenes that I've seen before and see again, have lived through and have survived them. Anti-Semitism is rising here and abroad, sometimes with deadly results. We have religious, racial, ethnic, and gender intolerance without our government condemning them, and definitely not the demonstration and its marches. We will actually watch police brutality against our minorities and just assume it's a local event. Longtime minority residents are being led away in handcuffs by ICE officers to confinement and possible expulsion. Decent, innocent, and law-abiding people arrested like common criminals at homes, schools, streets, and workplaces, and are deported. Families are torn apart with their children left behind with an uncertain reunion. We hear hateful, insulting, demeaning, and undemocratic rhetoric from the highest level of our administration. I fear that we are becoming victims of many other things. Fear is being sold to us in campaign speeches and in slogans, and unfortunately bought by too many of our voters. We are supposed to have a leader in our country who unfortunately do believe to be above the law of the land. We hear unwarranted threats and retreats from them to countries, allies, and adversaries alike. We watch a circus ringmaster appoint cabinet posts to a high-speed merry-go-round only to be dismissed a few turns later. We have political promises given to us, which very, very few, if any, are ever kept. We are urged to make America great again, when you and I know it has never been anything less than that. People have the intention, or some people have the intention, to surround our great country with a wall to become something like a ghetto. So our freedom will decay from the inside. And now even to militarize our